All right, so sometimes you might want to add a gradient to your image. This can give you the opportunity to make things have more dimension, be a little bit darker. So a gradient is two colors blended together. Easiest way to do this is to go to, let me make this larger, Window, Swatches, and here where there's this little library book, click on that, choose Gradients, and choose one. I'm going to go with earth tones. This is my pizza crust, maybe. There are default gradients in here. So I can just, with my object selected, I'm currently on my stroke and not my fill. So I'm coming back to my toolbar to click on fill. I can choose a gradient. Now, possibly you like this gradient, but you don't like the way it's set up. That's where you can come to your properties window, close this so you can see a little bit better, and choose the dots, three dots down here to open the whole gradient window, or you can go to Window and Gradient, and that will give you this full option bar. So here I have a linear gradient. Currently it's going light to dark, left to right, where I can choose here reversing. Now it's dark to light, left to right. I can choose a radial gradient and again switch the direction of the colors. Gradient editing mode allows me to actually edit the gradient on the shape itself. And I can do that by choosing the mode here or by choosing the gradient tool in the toolbar. So what that looks like is this is the default gradient. If I want to manipulate it some, I can come over to my toolbar to the gradient tool. I can add in stops. See, when I get that plus sign, I can choose a new color like green because that looks awful. And then I can, manipulate it as I need to. Why might you want to use the gradient tool? It can make things have more dimension. So while I don't suggest having a pizza crust with a lot of green in it, what I could do here is choose my pizza. Currently, everything is grouped together, so I can choose to ungroup it by coming to the Properties window or Control-Shift-G until it gets ungrouped enough. I can also click enough until the shape I want is in its own layer isolation mode. So this is all I'm seeing right now. Try this gradient. Oof, no. All right, I could see that. Now, my cheese is going to be covering the majority of my pizza. Let me make this a little bit browner. Too brown. Okay. And let me see what that looks like. So to exit layer isolation mode, I can come here and click back till I'm where I need to be, or just click in my scratch space. Okay, so that pizza crust has a bit more dimension. Here, I want to make this match this, so it looks more seamless. Again, I've gone into layer isolation mode until I've just the object I want to change is selected. My eyedropper tool in my toolbar will let me click on anything and I can make it that color. But notice now this has a radial gradient on it, and so it's trying to apply a radial gradient on this shape, and it looks silly. But I can come to my gradient window and I can change the type of gradient I have. There it is. And how it's applied by using the gradient tool. Is it perfect? No. Is it closer? Absolutely. So that's one way you can use gradients.